Hey guys, can I just say COVID sucks? Who has a thumbs up for me? Right now I want to talk to you about John Maxwell's Leadership Gold chapter on for everything you gain, you have to give something up. I think we should change that right now with COVID. For everything you give up, you have something to gain. Right now, COVID is taking over our lives and we're all having to give up a lot. And we're wondering, when am I going to get that back? We don't know when we're going to get that back. And I too am going through some changes as well. Within my career, I'm having to do stuff differently. And I want to share with you what I do and the steps that John is talking about. You know, we have to lean into changes. And if we don't, change is going to happen no matter what. And it's a matter, leaders distinguish themselves during tough times. Okay. So the question is what is the next level worth for you? What is the next level worth? What are you going to give up? Right now, we have to go to the next level. We cannot think about yesterday so much anymore. There's this saying from a leadership coach of mine, and the saying was, if you have one foot into yesterday and another foot into tomorrow, you're pissing on today. Excuse my language, but you're stomping on today. Okay? What does that mean? It means we have to move forward. We have to move forward. And this isn't where you can leave your job and say, oh, I'm going to go get another one, or I'm going to do this or that. We have to lean into it. Okay? So we have to invest in ourselves. And for me today, it wasn't the best day for me. But you know what? I sat through it. I worked through it. And guess what I did? I picked up the Bible. I picked up this leadership book. And I'm like, you're a leader, Tanya. You got this. Okay? And I listen to some worship music. But here are the 10 things that John says you should do. And then we're going to go into detail. 1, you need to it's financial gain. Okay? So what will you trade? Trade financial gain for future potential. 2, trade security for significance. 3, trade affirmation for accomplishment. 4, trade immediate pleasure for personal growth. 5, trade exploration for focus. 6, quality of life for quantity of life for quality of life. 7, trade acceptable to excellence. Number 8, trade addition for multiplication. Number 9, trade the first half of your life for a great second half of your life. And number 10 is trade doing things for God, rather than, or instead walk with God. Okay. So let's talk about that. This is the leadership gold lesson today, right? Right now, again, we have to invest in ourselves and we have to be incredibly intentional right now. John says this, the greatest deterrent to tomorrow's success is today's success. That's actually Rick Warren. So John says this, what is the key to going to the next level as a leader? Put it another way, what is the greatest obstacle you will face once you have begun achieving your goals and having a taste of success, right? So we have tasted this success for a long time. We've had an up market, and I've talked to a lot of leaders, and they said, you know what the scary thing about success is the fall. The scary thing about this success is the fall. And right now, a lot of us are in the fall, right? He says, I believe it is the ability to let go of what you have so that you can reach for something new. Okay? So again, what are you willing to give up? What is going to take you to the next level? What is that worth? John also says this, well, Max Dupree, by avoiding risk, we really risk what is most important in life. Reaching toward growth, our potential, and a contribution to a common goal. All right? So we need to figure out, like, what is it that we're willing to give up? What is it that we're willing to trade? Okay, let's talk about financial gain right now, right? A lot of us here, John says, trade financial gain for future potential. Right now, we need to do that. A lot of us are not financially gaining from much right now. We don't know if we're going to have a job tomorrow. We don't know if our kids are going to have to move back in with us. We don't know if our mom's going to get laid off. We don't know if people are going to get sick. We don't know. We have no security right now, okay? And that's what John says, is trade your financial gain for future potential. Why? Because this is what John says, I was always willing to put future potential over financial gain, okay? This is what John says. The temptation is almost always for the cash, right? We've had this upswing in the market. We've had the upswing in our economy for so long that many of us learned our lessons and many of us didn't, right? So John says, but this goes back to the idea of pay now, play later. Pay now, play later. But John says this, if you are willing to sacrifice financially on the front end for the possibility of greater potential, you are almost always given greater chances for higher rewards, including financially. Okay? Trade your financial gain for future potential. Right now, if you are thinking about where should my money go, right? If you have any money to invest in yourself right now, invest in yourself. Invest in certifications. Invest in becoming a master of your craft. Invest in your education. Invest in yourself and stop buying crap. Okay? So let's go back to the first one that John talked about. Is here it is. Trade affirmation for accomplishment, right? So the thing is the decision, you want to be accomplished. You don't need everybody's affirmation anymore. The last people checked, and this isn't my quote, other people's opinions are not paying your bills. You are going to get accolades. We're going to get trophies. We're going to be the biggest brand out there. And we're going to be walking across the stage, being all that in a bag of chips. Guess what? Your ego isn't paying you. Okay, so let's let our ego go and let's experience a little humility and realize that, hey, those glory days are over, right? They are. Don't let your ego, keep you from being significant. Okay, so the second one is trade security. This is 3. Trade security for significance, right? Our security has been rocked to the core, right? We don't have much security. What we do have is we have the opportunity right now to rise up. Many of you guys on here are business leaders. You run teams, you run offices, you manage people, right? And for those of you that are staying home, you are the CEOs of your households, right? You are the presidents of your households. So all we can think about right now is significance and not security, okay? John says success does not mean simply being busy. What you give your life to matters. So these days, think about, what do I want to give my life to? What are some things where I can be completely significant, right? The great leaders in history were great not because of what they owned or earned, but because of what they gave their lives to accomplish. They made a difference. They made an impact. They didn't care about being the biggest influencer. They didn't care about getting accolades. They didn't care about their likes and their comments and all that crap that didn't give them any money, but they sure did give them a big ego, right? Right now, we trade security for significance, and I want to talk about that. Right now, trading security for significance is important when we're at home with our kids. And there is this distraction of getting involved in virtual happy hours and virtual dance parties, which I'm involved in all those, right? We're getting involved in leadership groups and real estate groups and all that. But do not get involved with the trap of trying to stay connected and being busy to be busy in your house because you're bored, because you don't know who you want to be when you grow up, right? Or you don't know where you want to be when this is all over, that you don't have hope or you don't have a vision, right? Right now, the significance that you can where you can make the biggest impact is in your house, right? So this is our chance to go back to our roots, right? Go back to home economics, go back to leadership in the home, go back to connecting, go back to building your interpersonal skills, right? Today, you know what I did? My nephews, their school in Tennessee just gave up, right? What did I do is I did a leadership gold class for my nephews and nieces, and they loved it. They loved reading the book. They loved me asking them questions. They got vulnerable. It was like, oh my gosh, it filled my heart up. And that's where I want to give my time, right? Is to my family first and foremost. Okay. So significance. The next one is 5, trade immediate pleasure for personal growth. Trade immediate pleasure for personal growth. It means delayed gratification, right? Practice delayed gratification. Be frugal with your money. Be frugal with your time. Don't just give your time away to people and groups and things and things that don't benefit you, right? That if you do have extra time, which most of us don't, right? Be very frugal. And number 7 is trade quantity of life for quality of life. Okay, so the thing is we need to keep it simple, right? Keep it simple, stupid. We've all been like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. I have this FOMO and I want to buy this. I'm going to keep up with the Joneses. If any of you went through the last recession, you probably know you had to simplify, right? I am really, really enjoying the quality of life with my family right now, even if it is connecting with my nieces and nephews on Zoom, okay? So number 8 is trade acceptable for excellence. Trade acceptable for excellence. People don't pay for average. People don't pay well for average, okay? So if you want to get paid better, do better. If you want to attract better, be better. If you want to attract more, then be more, right? You attract who you are. There's a quote that says, would you rather be a meaningful specific or a wandering generality, right? A meaningful specific or a wandering generality. What that means is, are people going to remember you as, oh, she did this, she did this, she did this, she did this, and she didn't do any of them good, right? And you know what? I do a lot of things. People are going to go, well, she does this, and she does this, she does this. But I'll tell you what, I put my full ass into all of it instead of half ass. All right? So John says this, people are not impressed by anything that is merely acceptable. Leaders cannot rise up on the wings of mediocrity. If something is worth doing, give it your best or don't do it at all. That's where I said, if you can't give 100% to what's happening right now, people are inviting you to groups, if they're asking you to be a contributor, if they're asking you to be a great realtor or a great leader, and you cannot give your all, then say no gracefully. Gracefully back out and say, I appreciate that you just invited me to this Zoom group or this group or that group or this group. But guess what? You know what? I'm going to gracefully bow out because I cannot take on one more thing, because it would be a disservice to you, your brand, your customers, and I just can't do it. Okay? You have to have the courage these days to say, nope, not for me right now, but thank you. Ask me again later. Okay? So I had to bow out of groups because I want to give my time to my nieces and nephews and focus on leadership within my own family and for my clients, okay? So, number 9, trade addition for multiplication. This means that great leaders are the ones that develop other leaders, okay? Be a doer, not a don'ter. Be somebody, a leader that is worth following. Leaders who gather followers add to what they can accomplish. Leaders who develop leaders multiply their ability. Listen to this. Listen to this. For every leader they develop or attract, they gain not only the individual's horsepower, but the horsepower of all the people that person leads. Is that powerful or what? It has an incredible multiplying effect. Every great leader, regardless of where or when they led, was a leader of leaders. To go to the highest level of leadership, you must learn how to multiply. So if you're one of those people that you think you're a leader because you have this great brand and your face is all over the place and you're on all these videos, but you treat people like dirt, guess what? Hate to break it to you, you're not a leader. Are you an influencer? Maybe, but you're not a leader. And if you want to become a better leader, then you need to build the leaders up beneath you. And I'm not talking about building them up because, hey, I'm giving them a paycheck or I'm giving these listings and they're actually making money because of me. No, guess what? That's called mediocrity. That is not called excellence. So if you want to be a great leader, then you need to learn how to lead other people and turn them into leaders and have some humble confidence and watch other people lead, okay? Number 10 is, or I think this might be 9, trade the first half for the second half, right? If you are in a second half of life, you've probably spent a lot of time paying the price of success. You pay the price of success, right? Do not waste it. Be willing to trade your second half of life for significance, right? Do things that live on after you are gone. What are people going to say at your funeral? Your life is going to be defined in one sentence. This is from John Maxwell. Your life will be defined in one sentence. What is that sentence going to be? Is it going to be, you know what? She impacted me. I might not have liked her or him, but she created a lasting impact on me, right? Or, you know what? That woman, she helped me feed my family. That guy helped me feed my family, but they treated me like dirt, okay? People leave people, not companies. So treat people nicely and with respect and dignity, especially in these hard times, okay? So that's what John says. If you are in the first half, keep paying the price so that you have something to offer in the second half of your life. The last one. Trade your work for God for a walk with God. Trade your work for God for a walk with God, right? So that's where there's this significance. He says, however, if faith is a part of your life, remember that no matter how much value your work has, it cannot compare with a relationship with your Creator, okay? So my question is, what are you willing to give up? You have to let go of one thing in order to grasp another, right? What are you willing to gain by all the stuff that you've given up during quarantine? People naturally resist that. We want to stay in our comfort zone and hold on to what's familiar. To be an excellent leader, I think you have to learn to travel light. You must learn to offload before you're trying to reload. And these are the closing words here. If you want to be a better leader, get ready to make some trades, right? A lot of us were forced to make trades. I'm forced to make some trades right now. I'm forced to make some bad decisions. I could make some bad decisions, that's for sure. But because I am in the same boat as you guys, there's uncertainty for me, for my family. You know, there's a lot of uncertainty. The good news is I have leadership books. I have a great mindset. I have a great family. I have the Bible. I have worship music. And I know how to snap out of it, right? Today wasn't the greatest day. Snap out of it. Snap out of it. The other solace that me and my family have is we have invested in ourselves over the years, and we weren't just one track minded, right? We thought, you know what, let's invest in certifications. Let's invest in retiring for the Army. Let's invest in this certification and this certification. Many of us in our particular family have invested in other things to make sure that we are following our passions and we can create the biggest impact. And so we're not worried, right? We're not worried. The question is, are you, right? What are you going to gain right now by what you've had to give up because of this quarantine? This is a time of self-reflection. This is a time to rise up. This is a time to not sulk. This is a time to say, you know what? This is a time to rebuild the foundation of who I am, who I want to be, where I want to go, who I want to take with me, how the impact that I'm going to leave. Who cares about wealth, right? Yeah, we talk about generational wealth. Why don't we leave generational health, right? Why don't we leave a generation with generational leadership skills, right? Why don't we teach our kids and our family what our grandparents taught us, right? So, love you guys. I know you're going through a lot. So am I. But pick up John Maxwell, watch this whole video, and for you, those of you that hopped on, I'm going to recap it. There's financial gain for future potential. give up affirmation for accomplishment, give up security for significance, give up immediate pleasure for personal growth, give up exploration for focus, give up quality of life for quantity of life for quality of life, give up acceptable to be excellent, give up addition for multiplication, give up the first half of your life for the second half of your life, and give up your walk for God for a walk with God. Okay? So listen to this video, because this thing is applying to every single one of you right now. And I'm praying for all of you, and I know that we can get through this. We just have to be incredibly intentional about our mindset, our leadership, our focus. And when someone calls you and says, you're laid off, right? Or, hey, you're not going to have a job next month. Or, hey, you know what? We're making some changes and you're going to be paid differently, or we're putting you on work furlough. My brother's whole company furloughed everybody and laid everybody off, right? That's when you go, you know what? This is the time for me to shine. This is, my brother just got furloughed and he never even got to take his retirement, right? He gave 28 years to the Army, 17 of them as a Green Beret, and he never even got to take any time off. My younger brother also retired, didn't get to take any time off, right? Went right into corporate jobs, built a house and everything. He's getting some time off right now, right? So you guys, be intentional about your lives and think about what you're going to give up to go to the next level, because that's all we can do right now, right? So have a good day and share this video, please, with anybody that needs to hear this.